that just by manipulating search suggestions, at least in laboratory kind of situation, we can turn a 50-50 split among undecided voters into a 90-10 split with no one having the slightest idea that they have been manipulated, in this case, by search suggestions.
Wow. Yes. And so how does that work? Is it to the fact that I might be searching for something innocuous? I might be searching for Humpty Dumpty. What's the rhyme? So I put H in, and then straight away it comes up, Hillary Clinton is a crook.
Yeah. Well, that's the point, is that when you start to type, you are getting distracted by these search suggestions. You might continue to type your entire search term and then hit enter. You might ignore the search suggestions.
Of course.
But it turns out that a fair chunk of the time, people end up clicking on one of their suggestions, which is what they want. They want you to click on one of their suggestions because then they're in control. Once you click on a suggestion, that's going to lead them to give you a particular set of search results. They're in control. And of course, they control the filtering, that is the selection of search results, and the ordering. They're in control. So they're trying to get you to whatever it is they want to get you to for whatever reason. It could be to make money, or it could be to shift votes, or it could be just, believe it or not, to impact people's values. One of the scariest leaks from Google is an 8-minute video, which has a funny name, The Selfish Ledger. If you type in my name online, Robert Epstein, and then you type in the Selfish Ledger, and if you're not using google.com, you're using a sensible search engine such as Brave Search that preserves and protects your privacy, and you look for the Selfish Ledger and put my name next to it, you might get lucky and you might find my annotated transcript of this 8-minute film. What is this film about? It is about Google's ability to re-engineer humanity. It was made by their advanced products division. It was never meant to be seen outside the company, but it leaked, and it's very clear about they say resequencing human behavior according to, it's right there in the narration, according to Google's values.
Yeah.
They're not kidding. They think they know better. They think they know how everyone in the world should live.
Yeah.
And they have very powerful tools to make that happen.
People will be thinking of George Orwell's books, 1984, Mind Control. I'm thinking Skinner wrote Walden 2 as his view of how behavior techniques can be used for good and for child rearing, development, and creating a nation of kind, caring people. It's almost like a Bond villain has read that book and said, well, I love the techniques, I'm just going to use it for my own nefarious means. Is that fair?
I think you're being too kind, because the problem with Google is that they everything they do is secret. See, in Walden 2, everyone knew that there were some psychologists who were trying to make everyone happier and more productive and more creative. Everyone knew that, and they knew who the psychologists were, and they rotated people through different positions. Everything was out in the open. But with Google, everything is secret. It's hidden. And also, remember, Walden 2 is a community of a couple hundred people, all of whom knew each other, and the impact was kind of restricted to that little commune, if you want to call it that. Google's operating on a different scale.
Yeah.
We're talking about most of the people in the world 24 hours a day, having more information, more surveillance than any dictator has ever had in history, and having more power to shift people's thinking, behavior, attitudes, beliefs, votes, purchases than anyone has ever had. Yeah. There's nothing that's ever come close in history. Again, something that I realized only recently. Let's say that the actual personnel at Google we're not interested in making the world a better place by their standards. Let's say they were not interested, and let's say they're not interested in getting mixed up in elections. Let's just say they're interested in making a darn good search engine, period. And they leave their algorithms alone. They don't mess with them. They don't add blacklists and whitelists. And the search algorithm just does its thing day after day after day. You know what? It would still be a terrible threat to humanity because it has no equal time rules built in. It would still be shifting the thinking and behavior of billions of people every day without their awareness. It's true in this case there are no human, overlords, telling it how to shift people's thinking and behavior, but it would still be occurring. It's a
Yeah.
it's a machine that is built to do exactly that.